But let's move on here. I got a situation
let's move on.
for you. Back to the East here on a team that got kicked out on a bad beat by the Hawks. Philadelphia, man. Simmons looked horrible in that series. Really got exposed for not being able to shoot or make a free throw. Got scared at the end to even go drive and make layups. What does Philly need to do here, G? Do they have to trade Ben Simmons?
They need to make a move because Embiid's getting old and Embiid's kind of fragile. They got to make a move. Embiid's got 3 years left. I mean, this guy's just so injured so much. They got to make a move. Do you know that there's only 2 players in NBA history that have more rebounds and assists than Ben Simmons in their first 275 games? First 275, only Luka. 2 players, Oscar Robertson and Magic Johnson. Only 2 players that have more rebounds and assists. You know what the problem with that is? It's rebounds and assists. The guy can't shoot, man. The guy can't shoot.
Yep. I mean, I totally agree. Both sides need a fresh start here. Joel and Ben, I mean, it's unfortunate for Ben Simmons because there's only really 2 superstars that I can think of in the entire NBA that he does not pair well with. And it's Joel Embiid and Giannis Antetokounmpo. I can't even say his name, but it's just 2 guys that clog the lane. He needs shooters surrounding. He's a LeBron James type. He needs ball in his hand, drive and dish. Any other superstar in the entire league, he is good with. But unfortunately, he got drafted to one of the few teams. He might even be able to work with Giannis, maybe, because Giannis isn't so much in the paint. But Joel just clogs it up, and you can't have 2 of those guys. You got to trade him.
And you look at the next step and you say, man, his trade value is disastrous. Nobody really wants him because unless his trade value is way down. Let's put it that way. I wouldn't say anybody doesn't want him. But look at it. I got an idea. Okay. Let's look at the shooting percentage of free throws. Okay. Do you know his playoff free throw percentage is 34%?
Yep.
There's only one guy worse than him. Only one guy in the history of NBA playoffs worse than him that shot at least 50 attempts. That's Ben Wallace and the Pistons. But Simmons is lower than Shaq. He's lower than Wilt Chamberlain. Those guys were low, but not as low as 34%. They were below 40%. But here's my idea, man. Those guys were both centers. I say make Ben Simmons a center. Make him a center. The guy's 6'11". Giannis is 6'11". Anthony Davis is 6'10". Make Ben Simmons a center.
I totally agree, and that's why I made the LeBron comparison. He needs to be more point forward than point guard. He needs to be in the lane, distributing from there, almost Draymond Green-esque. I think for him, though, the trade value thing, I think that's mainly in the media. I actually believe behind closed doors, a lot of these GMs are probably thinking, man, this guy's been a multi-time All-Star. He's been All-NBA. He's 24 years old, and I have him locked up for 4 years on a contract. I actually think he's a very solid asset and has great value because he's already he should have been Defensive Player of the Year. He was 2nd. So he's already a top 2 defender, one of the best passers in the game. He's tall. He can rebound and assist. I mean, if he gets a decent shot, he's an MVP type guy. So I think if you're thinking at it from that, he's 24. I think he's actually very valuable. And you could trade him for a guy like maybe Damian Lillard.
You can't shoot 34%. Remember Hack-a-Shaq? You can't shoot 34%. You're going to get hacked.
I know.
They had to take him out of the game at the end of the game.
I'm not disagreeing with you, Gary.
He was on the bench in the 4th quarter. They took him out.
It's bad. He needs to get in the gym and lock himself in there. Supposedly, he's skipping the Olympics. He should play for the Australian team. He's skipping the Olympics to focus on his game, which seems like he's never done in the past because he's never.
Which is amazing. Does that amaze you that he's never worked on his game? I mean,
crazy. So we'll see.
Hey,